Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the DNVR Rapids Podcast. We are live from the Toyota Lounge here at DNVR. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. I'm your host, Mitchell Carrol, hanging out with the fellas on a beautiful Wednesday. Cowboy Super Yaya.
Yeah. You forgot the yeah part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. A little tired, but we'll get through it. It's
We're
a nice
gonna rally.
Wednesday. We're rallying.
Good. Also joining us, downtown Duane Brown.
I'm laughing at what a hilarious intro that is. Like, you don't have to think of anything. You can just say, yeah.
It's all about
What a
the
gift.
inflection. It's all
What a
about the
gift.
inflections, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm entertained by the intros.
Love that. Man, coming off a big weekend, 4th of July and Sunday wins for the Pids. Tons of storylines to get into. But we're going to kind of take a different approach to it today. What we noticed when we're kind of planning out our show today, we were noticing that there are some big names having career years, and we want to see who else is having career years, right? Because that's when these sort of magical seasons happen in the MLS, is when you're getting the best out of everybody.
Where
right?
everything
Not
kind of
just your
clicks at the
top.
same time.
Right. You're getting the best from the middle class and even the guys that get a few minutes, right?
Yep.
You get it from everybody. So we're going to dig into that. We're going to talk storylines, big picture storylines, right? You got some big games coming up, Leagues Cup, and then probably a little break at least. So kind of time to assess where we're at, what stories we've been really invested in so far, stuff like that. And then we'll look ahead to the Redbull game. How's that sound, fellas?
Sounds great.
Sounds so good.
I want to say real quick, we already got a thumbs down. It's
Boo!
nice. No, I kind of like it. It means we have haters. It means we're doing something right, you know?
Who do you think did it?
Who done did it? I think
It's probably a St. Louis fan.
St.
No.
Louis fan.
I think it's Pádraig Smith saw the headline.
Oh,
He's like,
no.
this is not a fluke, and immediately gave us a thumbs down.
So when we said real or fluke on that, we weren't talking about the team, because I think we're all in agreement that this team is for real. All you have to do is watch the winners launch from Sunday night, right? Like, we're all in on this team being legit. The real or fluke is this team, are the players having their best seasons? Is that real? Is that sustainable over the course of the full season? Is this the new players that they are? Is it real? That's kind of what we're going to talk.
Oh, we got another thumbs down. That was quick.
What the hell? That has to be a record. I don't know if we've ever gotten 2 thumbs down before.
I don't think we've ever gotten a thumbs down live, man. We got real haters now.
That's messed up, man. Whatever. Haters keep me motivated.
It means we made it, right? It means that what we're saying, it's reaching other people that don't like it.
Let's go.
It's not just
Love
our
that.
it's just not our core audience anymore.
Love that. All right. Let's get into players having career years, and we got to start with the Colorado kid himself, our star boy, Cole Bassett.
The man of the hour a little bit.
I mean,
I think, no offense to Djordje. No
Sure.
offense at all. But what Cole is doing after having such a bad year last year, after kind of flunking out of Europe, maybe not his fault. Who knows? I don't know what happened in Europe, right? Him coming to Denver and having that horrible year he had last year. Let's be honest, it was horrible. He might have led the team in goals. The team was complete utter shice. But this year coming back, being a leader and contributing in every aspect that he has, it's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but what he is contributing to, it's just incredible.
his FBref profile is freaking art, man. He is 99th. So when he's against midfielders, right? Because he has played back in that double pivot, more deep line, joining the attack when necessary, but definitely more of a 6'8" than an 8'10" or a pure 10 like he wants to be and has played in the past. Versus midfielders, he's in the 99th percentile non-penalty goals, 97th non-penalty XG, 94th total shots, 88th in assists, 92nd in non-penalty XG plus expected assists. He is balling. 95th percentile in touches in the attacking penalty area. I mean, he is doing exactly what Pete Cole does, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's showing up here, right? It's not theoretical anymore. It's practical, right? And that's what's so exciting about this season. Career year, I mean, he's already set a career high In goal contributions, he's at 12. His previous high was 10. He was at 5 goals, 5 assists in 2020, and that was only in 14 games. Mm-hmm. So he was balling.
Yeah, of course.
Right? But smaller sample size, weird COVID year, et cetera, et cetera. He's now at 7 goals, career high. 5 assists, tied for a career high. And he still has until the end of the season. So, I mean, we're talking... now the question is he setting a new floor, or is this a peak? You know, what can we expect in more seasons going forward from him?
What do you think, Duane?
I mean, I think we saw the turnaround for Basset, you know, in the last quarter of the season last year. We talked about it a lot. You started to see the, if not the numbers, you know, given the state of the team last year, you saw it in the mentality of Cole Bassett. You saw when a lot of players were grumpy and really upset about how the season was going. Fans, obviously, super upset. Cole would be the one to step up to the podium and face those tough questions. He would be the one that would say, yes, we have to be better, and he would take that responsibility on his shoulders. Since then, all he's done is continue to do that. The dude has stepped up in every way possible, both with fans and on the field, you know, with breaking his in-season goal record, to just being a vocal leader. You know, like, I think Keegan is going like under the radar. Really, really good work for what he's doing. But like, if you know Keegan, he's a quiet dude. Like, he's very internal. He's a super heady, like super smart soccer guy. You know, you're going to see him do leadership by example and everything. But you don't always see him being super vocal. Whereas you see, you know, the need that fans have for that. Cole has stepped up and played that role and just backed up all of these numbers that he's putting into this, you know, really face of the franchise. You know, like Jack Price was the face of the franchise for so long. And now you've got all of these players, but Cole has consistently, like, people know who Cole Bassett is. Cole Bassett is an MLS name now. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. You know, not because he's not good, but it's just we're not used to a Colorado Rapid being like nationally MLS known. But he's a known commodity. People talk about the Colorado Rapids. They talk about Djordje. They talk about Cole Bassett. You know, like, that's awesome. I'm just happy for the dude.
He is also leading the league in distance covered, working his ass off out there, right? And, like, I think when you look at what the fans had to go through last year, and he was really the only bright spot on that team, right? You had Rafa only scoring 1 goal, right? And you know, kind of disappearing. I don't think that was his fault, but you know what I mean? There wasn't a lot to hold on to last year. And there was Cole stepping up, like you said, whenever media was needed, whenever, you know, someone had to take the fall, he did it. And this year, this turnaround in work rate and culture, and that doesn't happen without him, right? So not only is he having a career year in terms of stats, which, I mean, he's going to blow away his career years in stats. It's not even going to be close. I mean, this is going to be far and away. He might double, you know what I mean? But as a leader, as a person, you've seen so much growth.
Yep.
And I can't believe he's not on the Olympic team. We don't need to open up that can, but it's crazy.
Yeah, go back and watch Sunday's post game if you want to know our thoughts about the Olympic team.
and coming back a little bit on that, Cole, is it sustainable? Is this a peak? Is this a floor? It's a floor. He's 22. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It has to be a floor.
I agree.
That pay bump that he got with the U22 initiative kept him around. You were able to see what he's worth, and he's proven it. He's worth that U22 initiative spot.
Oh, yeah.
He's worth that extra pay, and that's the good thing about the Rapids, right? They've been kind of good about seeing who's on their squad, giving them a pay before they break out again, and that way they don't have to pay him even more next time. They kind of have him locked down for a little more, but this should be a floor because he's only 22. MLS said it in the comments. He's so young with so much more room to improve. There's so much more things that we want from him. And he's kind of in that Aiden Morris role that just went to Middlesbrough, where it's like a guy that plays the pivot, but not really a pivot. It's more of an 8, and he's internationally recognized.
Oh, yeah.
You already saw Cole being like touted out in Netherlands. It's not out of the question to see him back in Europe and balling out at such a young age, and for him to improve even more going forward.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the Olympian, the club record signing until a couple weeks ago, Djordje Mihailovic. He is at 10 goals, 6 assists in 21 matches, 21 starts. He has now a career high in goals. He's never hit double digits in goals. His previous was 9 in his last year with Montreal. His career high in assists is 13, so he needs quite a few more assists, but very doable.
Yeah, especially with this squad, how they're scoring right now.
I mean, very doable, whether that's just set pieces and, run a play, whatever. He's right there. He is 2 appearances away from playing as much as he did in his entire stint in Europe.
Yep.
Right. So it didn't work there. Clearly it's working here. Is this the real Djordje?
I think it is, especially in the MLS where somebody plays that he's already proven it. He's proven that he can be this centerpiece for a team. He did it in Montreal. He was balling out for Chicago. He's shown that he can be a player going forward, not just for the Rapids, but around the league. If he ever gets called up again to an international team, if Netherlands comes calling again, Italy, I think he's going to be even more ready because he has that under his belt, that first stint. This stint now just kind of shows me, okay, this is who Djordje is. Now can he just keep it going as the competition gets harder and harder? And I think the Olympic team is going to be the perfect place for him to prove it, that it's not just a fluke. It's more of a, hey, this is who I am. I just needed more playing time and a little bit more confidence. And that's where I think Djordje really pops off. It's when he has confidence. When he's lacking that confidence, you really see it you saw it at the beginning of the year. He was lacking the confidence mostly because he didn't have the ball at his feet. He was lacking the confidence because he didn't really know the team. Now that he's been integrated a lot more, you see him being that core piece that makes the Rapids run a lot better.
Yeah, I think this is who Djordje is. Next year, it might be the other way around. Like, I see Djordje as more of a play contributor and more of a playmaker than a goal scorer, but when the need has popped up, he's stepped up and scored goals when we need him. So I think that all plays into the playmaker mentality that he has. If he needs to make the assist, he'll make the assist. He'll make that pass. If it's not there, screw it. He's going to take the shot and make the goal. I'll take either one as long as they end up in a goal. Doesn't matter to me. So I think he's becoming the Djordje, which, when all of the fanfare happened with the signing and they said this is why we chose him and why we brought him in. The team struggled, like you said, to get him the ball and early in the season. Now that they're doing that, things are falling into place where we're starting to see, like, this is Djordje Mihailovic. Like, he is a playmaker. He makes things happen when it gets into the final third, which is really cool.
FBref has him 95th percentile in shot creating actions, whether that's take-ons, passes, dribbles. He's doing it, man. I mean, you've seen some of those passes. We broke down one of the passes last week from the 4th of July game on our Friday show. He is seeing the matrix right now.
Yep.
Right? Like, he is dialed in. So definitely career year for him. And definitely, I think, safe to say this is a sustainable career year for him.
Exactly. This one, though, him and Cole are the two most non-fluky years, in my opinion, because they have a track record of putting in the work and getting the results at the end of the day. They have a better team around it, so the results are going to look a lot nicer, and they're going to look a lot better in stat sheets than they would other years.
It's going to get harder for all of these stats each year to continue to be great. Like, this team is going to... they're going to have to work harder next year because the playbook is going to be out
right
on the Rapids. Like, no one was ready for this Rapid squad. and that's why the Rapids are beating up on everybody. In addition to a good game plan and all of that.
Yeah.
But starting next year, they're going to be planning for the Rapids, whereas usually they don't have to pay too much attention.
Right.
But they're demanding respect now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Kevin Cabral. Kevin Cabral.
What are his stats?
He is at 4 goals, 2 assists. His career high is 7 goals and 4 assists in the same season, but that was in League 2 before he jumped to MLS.
I'd argue that
So that's
MLS
not a
is
top
higher,
flight.
Yeah.
That's not a top flight league by any stretch. Talented league, but not on the level of MLS.
I agree that the MLS is a lot more talented.
So his highs in the MLS are 5 goals in 2021. So he's 1 away from that, and 3 assists in 2022. He was 1 away from that.
Okay.
He's flying right now. He had his best game of the season. Well, I guess he had a brace, but I think run of play wise, this game against St. Louis was his best of the season. He was hitting the afterburners and flying and making plays. Beautiful play to Cole for the goal. Cole with the beautiful play to him for the goal. Nice clean finish.
Yeah.
Didn't get cute. Put it far corner. Well struck. Nothing crazy. Has Chris Armas unlocked. He's basically at almost his career level right now, right? And there's still how much left of the season to be played, right?
9 games, something like that.
Right? So we're at 23, so 11 games.
11 games.
Yeah, so 11 games left.
I think Cabral is having fun playing soccer.
That's good.
Like, I think, coming out of LA where fans are booing you and constantly on social media saying that you suck and all of this, like, I don't care who you are, what level you are, what league you are, what sport you are, that is going to break down your mentals pretty quickly. I think he came into the Rapids with very low confidence. He didn't have a great year last year. That only hurt his confidence more. The fans certainly hurt his confidence more. The Rapids fans were not kind to Cabral last year. And then in the offseason, you have a different mentality from the coaching staff come in, more encouraging, a system that actually supports the style that is beneficial to the way that Cabral plays, that can really open up the field and let him use that speed, starting to change the mentality to not just fly down to the corner and cross your fingers, close your eyes, and kick the ball towards the goal and pray that's to Rapid Man that somebody's there. Now with the inverted style and moving the forwards more towards the center, chances are being unlocked for Cabral to try to do that. But the other side of it is all this pressure on goals for Cabral has been the story of his career, when we're seeing that actually, like, the things that happen that are not necessarily goal scoring is also where Cabral is really good.
Yeah.
It's just he's not had the opportunity to show that side of his game too.
Absolutely.
So it's nice to see him gain confidence.
That's one where I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I really don't. But with the other 2 guys, there's a track record of them being good. Like, you have the stats, you've seen it before, not just with the Rapids, but with other teams. Cabral's one where I need one more year of him to really show me who he is.
Yeah.
If this is him or if it's just like a fluke.
Well, and also, does he actually set those career highs?
Exactly.
Right? Because he's on track, but we've seen him disappear for literally months at a time.
But the thing is, even if he doesn't hit them, he's already kind of equaled them in 2 different years. In the same year. He kind of combined both of his best years and put him in one. So I think at the end of the day, I think Cabral's very talented. I really like what he does. I think that if he continues in this path, he could also be knocking on the Europe store again.
Yeah, I think so.
But my whole thing with him is I need more from him. I need to see another year of this.
Sure.
This is the one that to me that could be the flukiest for that one reason, because we just don't have a track record of him being the best. We actually have the opposite of him kind of being discarded as one of the worst ones, right? Like one of the worst players in MLS history. So
yeah, we are going to hit just a couple more players on the other side of this break. And then get into some storylines for the year. But first, we got to talk about our friends at Lucy Nicotine. Man, we love Lucy Nicotine. I put my can right there, right in front of us. 100% pure nicotine, tobacco free. I mean, nicotine rocks. I mean, period. Let's just say it. Nicotine's back with a force. We love it.
We back, baby.
We back, baby. Big time. Lucy rocks because you can get it in different ways. Gum. I'm not a gum guy, but I get it.
Some people don't like having that thing in their mouth for a long period of time, which
true.
I get. Pause.
Pouches.
Yep.
That's me. I'm a pouch guy. And then there's breakers, which is like pouches on steroids. You can pop a little flavor pouch in there and make it even crazier.
Yep.
And they got good flavors. Personally, I'm a mango guy. What's yours, Yaya?
I'm a wintergreen kind of dude.
Love wintergreen. They also have espresso, apple ice, berry citrus, mint, and another one that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But that's okay because there's so many you can forget about some because you have so many options that you find the one you like and you just roll with it. Like me, I'm the 4 milligram mango guy.
Yep.
That's me. The gum is available in 2 milligrams, 4 milligrams, or 6 milligrams. Breakers and pouches are in 4 and 8. You can set yourself up a subscription and have Lucy delivered straight to your door. No more weekly or daily gas station stops if you're like us. Were you a daily or a weekly guy?
I'm a bi-weekly guy.
Bi-weekly?
Almost a monthly guy.
Wow. Well, luckily with Lucy, you can just get 6 cans at a time delivered right to your door, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
It's clutch all the way through.
You can level up your routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/rapids and use promo code RAPIDS to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers free shipping, has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co and use code RAPIDS to get 20% off and always free shipping. We are also brought to you by Toyota.
That they don't have a theme song.
Oh, okay.
It's the Lavella one, but
yeah, okay.
I
Well,
just feel
they
bad giving
should
that
have
to the
one.
same to everybody.
They should have a theme song here because Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. We're all singing their praises all the time. I drove to work in a Toyota today. I drove the fellas here from the game on Sunday in a Toyota. Toyota is built for Colorado. Truck specifically, we have the truck right here on set. Well, the mini version. Come to the tailgates or the golf events, and we have a full-size one right there. They're part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, Toyota has built durable legends, destined for greatness, and perfect for Colorado. You have the 2024 Tacoma. You have the 2024 Land Cruiser. You have 17 models with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. 4Runner. God, I love a 4Runner. How can you not love a 4Runner? It's a good-looking car. Last night here, actually, the Rapids Street team came through to watch Team Canada and Moise. They pull up in a Rapids wrapped 4Runner.
That car is so
Yeah,
cool.
that's badass.
Pretty awesome.
It's so cool.
They have 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from. They even have a Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. And tons of SUVs like Grand Highlander and RAV4. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Colorado Rapids and the official vehicle of DNVR. All right, we are back in the Toyota Lounge. DNVR Rapids hanging out. Mitch, Yaya, Duane, super producer Kale on the ones and twos. Shout, shout. And all the fellas hanging out in the Toyota chat presented by the 2024 4Runner. Good to see everybody this morning. If you're watching on Twitter, hop into YouTube, hop in the chat, throw us a thumbs up. Goes a long way for us. We really, really appreciate it. And we like when you guys hop in the chat and talk with us, throw some crazy questions at us. Tell us how good we're looking this morning.
Oh, we always look good every morning, baby.
Big facts. Big facts. Okay. Career years continued. Calvin Harris. He is far and away having his best year.
See, this is the kind of guy that I wouldn't consider a career year at all.
It's his 4th season in the MLS.
Yeah, but it's more of this is his first real opportunity. Him and Ollie to me are in the same spot where it's like they really haven't had opportunity. To me, the breakout, it's more like Rafa, who actually like plays almost every game and like has had a season and has played in other seasons.
Okay.
So like to me, Calvin Harris is kind of just like still getting his footing underneath him.
He had 16 games in 21. Only played 8 in 22. Played 18 last year. And now at 20, he's played in every game this year. 23 matches.
That 16, it's a lot off the bench.
Sure. Yeah.
That's where I kind of.
But last year he did play almost 9. He played 899 minutes last year.
That's to me the one where it's like, it's kind of, I can't really quantify him because he hasn't had this many starts in a while. Like he's only really had 2 years with the Rapids where he's been a main piece. And even last year he played towards the end, not the actual.
He has 3 goals, career high. Previously scored one the year before that. Tied his career high in assists. Last year he had 3. This year he has 3. You know, he was obviously a target in the draft. He went 1 pick ahead of what's his name? Why am I forgetting?
Mayaka?
Yeah, he went 1 pick ahead of Mayaka. Porg goes and gets him anyways in that window, and you know Porg has told us how much he loved him as a prospect, right? Duane, is this a sustainable level of play from Calvin Harris? Is this who Calvin Harris is?
Yeah.
Super
I mean, it's not crazy stats. It's just, I think it's just good stats for a forward, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm saying that as someone who loves Calvin Harris. Like,
Great guy.
Like, I'm one of his guys for sure. Like, I am a...
No, he's one of your guys.
Well,
You
I know, but
drafted
I
him.
am a Calvin Harris guy also. Like, I will sing his praises. But I do feel kind of the same as Yahir. It's like, it's not his rookie year, but it feels like it's for his first year as a MLS starter, you know? Like, he is a guy who is expected to play a significant role on an MLS roster. Not a bench guy, but a guy everyone expects to show up and help the team, you know, and that's the role he has now, you know, like he runs onto the field as a starter or as a sub because, you know, we have options up front. He gets a pop from the crowd because he's getting that recognition. So I think it's too early to say career year because it's like
It technically
this is the
is.
first year where he's like getting consistent, really, really, really good minutes to where we're seeing who Calvin Harris is.
Well, he's played in every game and started in just under half.
Exactly. And that's why this year just kind of feels like it's his first real year contributing.
Sure.
Like actually being a core piece of the team.
But is he getting those minutes and chances because he's having his best year? Or is he having his best year because he's getting the minutes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Which one is which?
And that's why it's so hard to like quantify whether it's a breakout and fluke or not. To me, it's just a kind of wait and see for him, you know? It takes a while for him to actually come into what he's actually going to become as a player.
In the Toyota chat, how does our guy Kevin just jump in? Doesn't say a word the whole time. And then just drops Generation Adidas / Grammy winning artist Calvin Harris.
He is an artist.
It's my DJ.
Top rope, man. Kevin, legend. All right, last one. Rafael Navarro.
That's one where I feel exactly like Cabral.
Let me say what he has
Go
first.
ahead.
Career high is 15 goals and 9 assists. That happened when Botafogo won Serie B in Brazil to get promotion. 24 goal contributions. He then didn't go above 1 goal or assist in the next 2 years. But he's behind Endrick and the other major prospects, right? He's a bench guy there at Palmeiras. Then he comes to the Rapids last year, 1 goal, 1 assist. This year, 11 goals, 1 assist. So he's 4 goals off of his career high. 8 goals, 8 assists away from his career high assist. Probably not get matching that assist year. Probably not challenging his total goal contributions, but definitely goal scoring wise on track.
Yeah, and again, when he got those stats in Botafogo, that was Division 2, kind of just like Cabral. Mm-hmm. And that's why it feels very Cabral-esque, where I'm hoping for the best, but I need another year. I just need more I need to see multiple years of this kind of contribution for me to say it's not a fluke, especially with the striker, because it's so based on the team around you. You don't really create for yourself. And you saw it the last game. He did such a great job of creating for others. But we also tried to see it last year, and it didn't happen. Yeah. He tried to create for others, and there was nothing there. So to me, it's one of those, like, you got to wait and see. As excited I am for Rafa and how much we've been banging the drum for Rafa, me and Mitch, and Duane being like, I need more goals. Like, which, again, completely fair. Like, he had the right mentality on that. It just kind of wait and see if he can continue this. It's still, that one to me is still up in there, just like Cabral. You need to see multiple years of this kind of goal contribution, assist, and goals for you to really look at it and say, all right, this is the Rafa that we're going to get for the rest of his career.
Sure. Fair enough. definitely setting a certain bar here, right? Especially compared to last year. Everything feels good compared to last year, but we have two double-digit goal scores, right? So that's great.
Exactly. Not complaining.
Yeah.
At all. Like, you're not. What do you think, Duane?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like with Cabral and even Calvin Harris. It's too early to tell for me. Once we get a larger sample size, looking this time next year, then we'll know. Like, is this who we expect from Hoffa, or do we expect more? I mean, he's still really young. Like, I think we forget that.
Yeah.
He's pretty young. He's got a lot of soccer ahead of him.
Hopefully, he has 12 more years here.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
The older you get I'm only 27. I'm the youngest on the panel right now. I'm 27, and I hear he's really young at 24. I'm like, ooh. Kind of hurts a little bit.
Well, it only gets worse, my friend.
Did you watch Lamine Yamal?
No, that's very different.
Well, no, but that kid is actually the first superstar athlete that actually could be age-wise my child, and that really messed me up.
Yeah. And it just messed me up a little bit because you look at Rafa, like, he's young. I'm like, I'm 27 and he's younger than me. I never really had that before.
Yeah,
this is one of my first, at least
it gets so much worse.
You're dusty.
Yeah, it
boy.
gets worse. But that's one of the first guys that I look at and I'm like, damn, he is younger.
Real quick, career year, Darren Yappy, career high in goals with 1. Shout out to our guy. The floodgates are open now. It's over for the MLS.
I told everybody, don't let him get one.
Don't let him get one. All right, let's jump into our other topic for this today is...
Real quick.
Okay.
Darren Yappy is what Jason Tatum thinks he is.
Whoa.
Just think about that. Continue.
I have no idea how to respond to that, so I'm going to keep
That's
going
fine.
with what I was saying.
That's fine.
Stories of the season. Storylines you're enjoying. Obviously, we know the big ones, right? But... what have you guys latched onto? What are the things you want to highlight that maybe aren't a whole episode or a whole article or something, but something that you've been paying attention to and something you love? Does anyone have one they want to jump into first?
I have one that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, and that's the return of Sammy Vines. I think that's a huge storyline for the one reason that he has had a pretty much a bad year all year round with a few flashes here and there. But it reminds me so much of what Cole did last year. I expect Sam Vines to pick it up after Leagues Cup, kind of like Cole did, and really understand what's going on, kind of get into full rhythm of being in Colorado and buying 110 in. And I think that's such a huge storyline because if you can get the last guy of these fringe USMNT guys to buy in and have a good year, you're cooking. Now you have this kind of pipeline of those players knowing that if you come to Colorado, you can be somebody, you can win here, and you can go back into USMNT, you can do what you have to do, and you can even maybe go back to Europe.
What's crazy is we haven't even seen the okayest of Sammy Vines. Not even best of Sammy Vines.
Exactly.
We haven't even seen we haven't even seen average Sammy Vines yet over a sustained stretch, right?
Yep.
Offensively, he's finding some footing. Defensively, he has his moments. But overall, I mean, the best is yet to come with him, right? And you've seen it. We just talked about all these guys that Chris Armas has had the Armas effect on, right? Cabral and Harris, to me, are the ones that really stick out there, right? In terms of what Armas has been able to do to kind of unleash them. Vines, to me, is kind of the guy next on my list of can Armas get him going? Can Armas figure out a way to deploy him correctly, get him involved, keep the work rate going, keep the effort going when it's not going his way? And I think he can because we've all seen Sammy at his best.
Exactly.
Right? You're a big Sammy guy. Have been since way back.
Since way back. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard not to compare it to Cole Bassett's season last year. Mm-hmm. There's a transition getting back to home. He's also, I think, prepping for a wedding at some point. He is engaged. Coming right back home. So there's all that going on. It's you don't play a ton of minutes and now you're coming back and you're playing every game. There's just all these things that we had this same exact conversation, aside from the wedding part with Cole Bassett last season. And you just hope that, the final quarter of the season,
post league
it
stuff.
just whatever it is, the switch flips like it did with Cole, and Sammy gets super comfortable and he's back to what he was before he left, and I don't think he's super far away from that. I think there's a level of life turmoil, again, like these guys are so young, and I can't imagine myself a bazillion years ago at that age going to Europe and doing all of that and then switching my job and moving back home and all of these life things going on, plus trying to maintain, the life of a pro athlete. So it's a lot going on. It took Cole a little bit, and it's going to take Sam a little bit too.
You got a favorite storyline, Duane? Or a storyline you're paying attention to?
I mean, look, my favorite storyline is Chris Armas, but I'm not going to jump into that storyline because we've covered it a bazillion times. An undercover, like maybe people don't want to cover the storyline, so I'll bring out the storyline is, did Pádraig Smith prove the haters wrong?
Oh, no.
And I'm just opening it up. This whole offseason, even when we sign people like Djordje Mihailovic, we bring in a different roster. He hires a coach that is universally hated before he even gets here. Now you have a team that is sitting comfortably in fourth in the West, that's beating up on teams that need to get beat up on, that's already surpassed the goals of the previous year, a coach that is universally loved in the locker room and among the fan base. Did he do a good job in the offseason? Like, can the Rapids fans finally say, like, we had a good offseason, like he made the right moves? That's a storyline that maybe I think isn't really getting talked about as we talk about all these players, but there's a guy that brought these players in. So I think it's an interesting storyline.
The storyline isn't did he prove them wrong, is because like Yahya has said about some of these other guys, is I need to see it for more than a window.
Sure.
Right? That being said, club record signing in the winter, club record signing in the summer. Both of those guys are double-digit goal scorers.
There's a lot of success.
Kind of simple
right
as, right? Enough said. As our guy Judge Jim would say.
There's a coach who's unlocked some of these players that, have been panned hard last year. And I'm not saying all of that is on Pádraig. I'm just saying that he is instrumental in making some of the decisions that got those people here. Now, if those people were doing a terrible job, that would also, everyone would be totally on board the storyline of this is Pádraig's fault.
Yes. Correct.
But you can't, not pay attention to what a great job Chris Armas and the coaching staff that has been brought on has done. Record signings are doing what record signings do. It's just the Rapids are fun right now, and that goes both with players and the whole organization.
And it's not just one off season, right? It's now back to back. Last year you bring in Connor Ronan, you bring Cole Bassett, you bring Rafael Navarro. You also bring Bombi in through the draft. Calvin Harris comes in last year. Kevin Cabral is contributing last year. These are all guys that came in last year. Right. So it's been like back-to-back off seasons where it might have taken a little bit longer for the guys from last year, but they're hitting. They're going full strength. And how Duane said, it's also thanks to Chris Armas and that hire that he brought in to really get these guys going. These are the kind of moves that don't just make your team good now. It makes your team good for time to come.
Yeah, and I think to Mitch's point is, let's see what next year happens and how does it keep building, does it keep growing? Then we'll have a better sample size. But right now, it's nice to see signings doing well.
Yeah, the grade is still incomplete, but it's trending in a great way, right?
Correct.
You cannot be anything but happy, and it's not just because there's guys on the field doing well. It's because there's real culture with this club, right?
Exactly.
There is a identity. There is a togetherness. There is a team mentality that was missing for the last 2 years and in spades. And so, you have to tip your cap, but you got to see it for longer than we've seen it. So,
And real quick also, I don't think it's just P. Smith in this. I think it's also C38 in conjunction with P.
course.
Smith coming in here and saying, we're tired of this.
Yeah,
And
we want better.
shout out to P. Smith for paying attention and listening and being like, you guys are right. How do we fix it? And getting to work. So
Absolutely.
shout out T38. It's partly your guys' accomplishment as well.
Yeah. I'm going to get into my favorite storyline of the year, and we'll get into some Red Bull stuff on the other side of this short break. All right, we're back. Welcome back, DNVR Rapids. Live and in the cut, baby. Yahir, Duane, Mitch, Kale, hanging out on a beautiful Wednesday morning in the Mile High City. Man, there's so many good storylines. Do you know what my favorite storyline is right now? Do you guys have any idea where I'm going with this?
Rapid Man?
Bombi.
Love Rapid Man. Love Bombi. Neither. I noticed it on Sunday night. Right here, sitting in this chair, looking at that screen with the chat scrolling. And our guy, buffs for BCS, John D, our boy Boraz,
Eating some crow.
not just eating crow, wholly, full chest apologizing for what he was saying about Chris Armas.
Yep.
And it's not just him, although he came here, so it was a public and on the record sort of thing.
It's the one that you
You
saw.
are seeing it. I've seen it.
And I respect that, by
Of course.
the way. Yeah.
He was as loud as anyone saying it was not going to work. It was a disaster. It was over. Canceled his season tickets. You had, I mean, seriously.
Me too. A lot of people did.
You did.
That's why I laughed, because I looked at Duane and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah.
Duane did.
Yeah.
And that was still the right decision last
100%.
year.
No, again,
You don't
not
cancel
blaming.
your season tickets after this year.
No.
You cancel them after last year.
But-
now you have the conversations of it's a different world now. Do I go back and get them again? You
And
know?
maybe this is just a continuation of what we were just talking about with Pádraig Smith and the kind of the culture and the turnaround. But the turnaround is so thorough and feels so tangible and real, right? This isn't like they're riding a hot streak. This is an effort, coaching, commitment thing. This is real, right? This isn't just a hot streak, right? This is you know that this is who this team is.
Yep.
And so you have people who were ready to burn DSGP to the ground
I was one of them.
in droves, holy, full chest, saying they were wrong, this is real, and back to loving this club. And to me, it's that last part of that sentence that is the storyline I'm loving, is fans that have been through it. And granted, I haven't been through it as long as either one of you or as some of these C38 originals who have been going through it since 1996.
Yep.
Right? Few peaks in there, obviously 2010, 2016, 2021, a few others in there,
99,
99.
so
Yeah, like some fun times in there, right? But the fact that there is a team to love, a team to get behind, to make sure you don't have plans on Saturday nights so you can get to the park and watch this club and support this club and be happy that Colorado, that the badge is back for you as a fan. And it just feels real. And to me, that's the story.
My badge is up here, so I just go like this.
I that's my favorite storyline, Mitch. So I'm glad that you brought it up. Is that it's just a lovable team. Like, I am not a Miami fan. Like, I'll never be a fan of that club. I don't live there. I don't think about them very much. I'm curious what it's like to be a fan of Miami. Like, are you really like in love with the team, or do you love the fact that you have the world's greatest soccer player and you get to experience that and watch goal? I mean, multiple really, really good, amazing players, but also you have Lionel Messi doing Lionel Messi things for your club, which given, like, that is incredible. That is a fantasy world, right?
Yep.
But it's like, I don't know. And again, this is speaking out of ignorance. I don't know if they like love their club or they just love the fact that they have Messi in they have a world beater on their team. And it's like with the Rapids, it's like we have good players and we get to watch them score goals and do all these soccer things. But it's like their players are genuinely lovable. Like, so many storylines on this team. You know, you've got Bombi. Everyone loves him. You've got Ronan, who comes in.
All the homegrowns.
Yeah. all the homegrowns. You have Keegan Rosenberry. You have the Hoffa storyline. You have Return from Europe with Cole Bassett and Sammy Vines.
Stefan.
Djordje,
Keeps
Stefan.
going. Yeah.
It's like all of these players, Yappy, everyone's been
The
cheering for Yappy.
30-year-old
He's
grizzled veteran.
So,
Keegan Rosenberry.
The grandpa.
It's just you've got a coach that has done everything to connect with fans. It is just such a lovable football club right now. I don't know. It's different. I think. I think the Rapids club is a different experience.
It feels like a club, not a team.
Yes, exactly.
I think that word itself just shows the most, because for the first time in a long time, it feels that from level 1, the academy, all the way to the very top is connected and trying to get things done the right way. And that's where love comes from, right? When you feel like things are being done the right way and are just buying yourself through corporate America with all these players, and you're building your team off players that have been discarded either in Brazil, in Europe, all these other places. Like, you feel like you're building something that feels organic instead of corporate. You know,
the vibes are good. I mean, it's like I'm cheering for C38. Like, every time if I'm not there. If I'm watching on
the big
MLS
screen.
Plus, like, I'm cheering for C38 because I can hear them be loud on TV, and it's just I'm cheering for every aspect of this club right now, and it's fun, it's just fun.
Real quick, I have another storyline, just real quick one.
Go.
And I think it's what we just kind of mentioned, but the connection between academy kids turning into homegrowns, turning into contributing pieces. I think it's something that should really be applauded a lot more, because you do have the likes of Sammy, you have the likes of Cole, you have the likes of Ollie, but we're also like Jackson Travis, Michael Edwards. He was brought in, not a complete homegrown, granted, but you have those guys. Then you have also, sorry, I forgot his name, Anderson. You have guys coming in here. And then in that batch, I also include the likes of Bombi. I include the likes of
draft picks.
Calvin Harris. Guys that have come in and were given a second chance as young players to be a part of a team.
They have to earn it.
And earn it at the end of the day.
Yep.
I think it's so important for this team, because that's the kind of player that you have to target. Because you're not an LFC, you're not an Inter Miami, you're not New York. And I think that's something that goes under the radar that the Rapids have started becoming such a good team at.
All right, we're going to jump into our Red Bull preview for this weekend. It's been a game, I think, that's been circled on the calendar for a few reasons. But first, we got to talk about ourselves. We love DNVR events. They're so fun. What's your favorite DNVR event?
Oh, the one on my birthday?
Oh,
in Tampa?
Oh, you mean the Broncos road trip?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, we're going, baby. We're going to Tampa to watch the Broncos take on the Buccaneers. And man, it's going to be a good time. We're going to be hanging out in Clearwater Beach. We're going to have a boat party.
Boat party, baby. And then a party if it in a boat.
Can two awesome words come together and make an even more awesome words better than boat party? Like, come on.
I don't know.
You'd be hanging out with
Mega
Super Bowl
boat
champion Todd Davis, some other Broncos, TBD.
Yeah.
But there'll be Broncos there, and that rocks. Who doesn't want to
Or
hang
Broncos
out?
fans.
Tons of Broncos fans, the best Broncos fans, the best diehards.
Exactly.
That's going to be great. We also have all home game tailgates for the Broncos. Tickets are up on our website right now. That is, we just locked down a food deal. I don't think we've announced it yet, so I'm going to keep it hush-hush, but it's going to be great. Tons of beer and booze from the friends at Breck. Beautiful view of the stadium and downtown and all the tailgates below you. Best deal for tailgating in town. So check those out if you're ready to go to some home games this year. We're also road tripping to Nebraska for Buffs, Huskers. I'm going on that one, so come hang out with me. Boo the boys in red and cheer on the Buffs. It's going to be a blast. Got a really nice hotel right next to the stadium. We're going to tailgate. We're going to party. It's going to be super fun. So come check that out. That is through truefantravel.com. Both the Broncos trips and the Buffs, truefantravel.com. Rockies takeover. Can't forget the Rockies takeover, July 20th. Taking on the Giants. Going to be a blast. And then, we have our golf tournament coming up. The DNVR Kickoff Classic. It's going to be at Legacy Ridge in Westminster on August 16th. Toyota and Shady Race putting that on with us. Foursome, Scramble, Best Ball, have some fun. Probably get into some shenanigans on the course if you're anything like me on the course, which is pro shenanigans on the course. Check that out. Again, everything is at thednvr.com/events. So head on over there and check that out. And the DNVR bar. Tons of stuff all summer long. We got ladies' night, industry night, bottomless mimosas for brunch on the weekends, brunch menu, live music from Stovetop Gemini, tons of stuff there, video game tournaments, all sorts of stuff. Like I said, all of that at thednvr.com/events. All right, we're back. DNVR Rapids. Yahir, Duane, Kale, me, Mitch, your host, hanging out.
You guys can't see this because there's
I
not
like
a
the
camera on
Kale
him.
waves.
But Kale says "What's up" every time we mention him. We love it. It's
My voice hasn't been on this podcast once, but I've been
That's
mentioned
not
like
true.
3
We used
times.
to
I
ask for your
appreciate it.
prediction back last
When we
season.
started.
No,
Yeah.
I was saying today.
Oh, yeah. But we love having the voice of Kale just drift into the airwaves like that. I might even ask your prediction today, so get ready. We're back on that.
It can be
Okay.
wild. It's fine.
Yeah.
I know nothing about
That's fine.
That's the
this
best kind of
upcoming game,
prediction.
so,
Well,
we'll wing
guess
it.
what? We're about
We're going to give you a
to
little
preview
taste.
the game.
Look at that. I'll
We're
learn
not
everything I
diving
need
too
to know
deep.
in the next 7 minutes.
We're not diving too deep as we do, but we are going to get into it here. Red Bull coming to town. First time they've played Red Bull since the infamous 5-4 win in 2022, the most fun game we've covered as a podcast by a mile.
The Yaya goal.
Oh man, that's a story we'll get
That's
into
a
someday.
throwback.
Yeah. But they are flying high, right? They are looking. They're kind of like Rapids East right now, right?
They're,
Kind
they're
of.
also in
similar.
fourth place.
With about the same
I
amount of
think
points.
separated by 1 point.
And two different. Rapids have 7 goal differential, and the Red Bull has 9. So they're not that far off from each other.
They're also kind of getting contributions from some unheralded names, right? Lewis Morgan was $1 million buy, Scottish guy. He has 9 goals on the season.
He's like he is the Johnny Lewis of that team. He's the guy that many people tout. He's gonna break through. He's kind of finally breaking through. Good for him.
Yeah. They're out of a couple guys. I think Tolkien is on the Olympic team, so he won't be there.
Does that mean Djordje won't be there either?
Djordje won't be there either.
Georgie's gone for like a month.
Yeah, he won't be there for. Yeah, he's gone for the foreseeable. And then Forsberg has been hurt, right?
Yep, I think so.
And so,
Frankie Amaya got told to Mexico.
bye.
Amaya's dope.
Bye. So, as our guy Mark in the chat points out in the Toyota chat there, they haven't been hot of a late,
Yeah.
right? Now they're coming to town facing Chris Armas, former Red Bull boss. Fired unceremoniously after a playoff appearance. That's crazy to me. Omir Fernandez, going to start probably, would be my best guess. Who has shown up for Red Bull
In Derby games.
in Derby games, who has one of the best goals of that Hudson River Derby history.
He has that like little bit of anger. You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
He carries these games with a different
Big time.
Yeah.
If anyone is going to show up against their former team in this season,
It's Omir.
it's Omir, right? So that's kind of the storyline I'm looking at is Omir's played well. I think he's done the dirty work very well, and the work rate has been very well, but he has not found the back of the net like we thought he
Stats
would.
are not showing.
Correct.
Yet.
Which is still good. But you want to see those, and I think he gets back on the score sheet this week, and that's the storyline I'm looking for. Storylines from you guys you want to check out.
Real quick, Charles. Rapids are winning regardless. And no, Montana does not have a real rainforest. I'm sorry. I looked it up yesterday. It's half a rainforest. It's a temperate rainforest. It's different. It's similar, but not exactly the same.
Okay, we only got 5.5 minutes here, so storyline.
I think Omir. I think Omir and the return of Omir and Chris Armas is going to be the biggest one. Also because they just play so similar. They play the kind of same systems. I just think it's going to be a very interesting matchup of where talent's going to show a lot more, and there's where talent's going to really talent and mistakes are going to be the 2 biggest factors in this game today.
Duane?
It's going to be a double storyline between the return of Hoffa and also Zach Steffen. This team takes a lot of shots. A lot. I think in the game over the weekend, there was a combined 26 shots on goal. Maybe not on target, but 26 shots. Some of those shots, if you go back and watch the replays, were some of the worst shots I've ever seen. Maybe MLS has ever seen. I think that when you're a team that is kind of at Rapids level, you see we have a bad game against LAFC. We bounce back pretty hard. This team in New York might be a team that wants to bounce back after a kind of embarrassing game, over the weekend. So I think Zach Steffen is going to have a lot of soccer balls coming at him. So it's going to be a backline Steffen show, and hopefully the return of Hoffa.
They average over 14 shots a game, so yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Let's get into our predictions.
I think Rapids have an advantage because it's both teams like to run, and it's at elevation.
That's right.
And that's going to really, I think that's going to be one of the biggest Rapids advantage because they are going to be running there's going to be both teams going to run, both teams going to get ahead. Neither of them is going to try to play that tiki-taka kind of style to try to get the ball forward.
Yeah.
So I think the Rapids win this. I think Omir scores a brace. I think Red Bull score 1. And I think the Rapids walk away with 3 points and continue on the heater.
You said 2-1 Rafa brace?
No, Omir brace.
Omir brace, 2-1? Brace from your boy.
I just think he's due.
He is. He's due.
He hit
You're
the
right.
post last game. Like, it was so
No,
close.
it was a very nice shot.
So-
Okay. Dwayne, what's your prediction?
I'll go 3-2 Rapids with goals from Hoffa, Bassett, and Harris.
Wow.
Spreading the love around.
You ready for this one?
We're spreader outer.
5-4.
Wow.
He's coming back.
It's a banger.
It's
We're running it back.
goal
9
frenzy.
goal fest. No, I don't really think that, but I do think we keep the goal scoring going, and I think they're trending the wrong direction without some of their key playmakers and a very key defender with the Olympic team. So I'm thinking that the wingers feast, 3-1 win. Cabral, Omir, Hoffa.
Yep.
Bang, bang, bang. We win. That's going to do it for us for this episode. Yahya, go ahead and plug us out of here.
DNVR Rapids on Twitter. Please follow us there. Give us some likes. Let's try to eliminate those thumbs downs from the haters.
Yeah, haters.
5-star review wherever you hear this podcast. We'd really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're very close to 100K. We're still begging you guys to get us there. I will get on my knees and beg if I have to, but get us there.
We are right there.
Tell a friend about this podcast that likes the pit or is pit curious, as my co-host likes to say. Get them on here. Have them talk to us. We love talking pits.
Pit Curious is the best. Dwayne?
Hydrate. It's going to be real hot on Saturday. It's going to be 103, folks.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm only saying silly things, but I mean them. Be
They're
careful.
framed silly.
Be careful when you go to the tailgate and have wobbly beverages. Also have some watery beverages.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I'm going to be in Vegas where it's supposed to be 120.
Well, that's your fault.
Oh my God, Kale, I didn't even ask your prediction. What's your prediction?
I think it's a vibes fest, but I think there's gonna be some drama.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 4-2
Oh my
Pits.
God!
Oh, let's
4-2
go.
Pids.
Woo, you got me all hot and bothered over here with that one, Kale. Let's go.
Two last minute goals. 2 last minute goals. Let's go.
Okay. Sign up to be a diehard at thednvr.com. Gets you all sorts of stuff. Gets you behind the wall. Gets you into the Discord channels. Gets you access to cool content. Gets you discounts at the bar. Gets you free merch. Gets you more discounted merch on top of that. Gets you discounted events. Discounted. That's the key word there. You're getting into the club so you can get stuff for cheaper. Think of it like Costco for sports.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it's Costco for sports. And Costco rocks, and so do we. So make sure you do that. We have Olympics coming up. We'll be watching the soccer games right here in the DNVR bar. So if you have that, you get your discount on your bar tab, which, God, discounted bar tab. Those are another 2 great words together. Discounted bar tab.
Those are great words.
Great. More important than all of that, and the way we end every show, and we're feeling great about it, baby. Up the Pits.
We all silly like the mayor.